Welcome, everyone, to the AI Enhanced Product Vision Workshop. I'm thrilled to have you here today for what promises to be a dynamic and hands-on session. This workshop is designed specifically for product leaders who are ready to take their strategic thinking to the next level by integrating generative AI into the heart of their product vision process. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll explore how AI can evolve from being just a feature in your product to becoming a foundational tool in how you craft, validate, and align your product vision. This isn't about replacing human intuition. It's about amplifying it. You'll learn how to use AI to generate bold ideas, validate them with real-time market data, and synthesize insights into clear, actionable strategies that your entire team can rally behind. We'll dive into practical prompting techniques, explore AI-powered validation methods, and walk through synthesis frameworks that can transform how you approach product strategy. Whether you're starting from scratch or refining an existing vision, this workshop will equip you with the tools to make your vision more ambitious, more data-informed, and more aligned than ever before. Let's get started. Let's take a quick look at what we'll be covering in today's workshop. This session is structured to give you a practical, hands-on framework for integrating AI into the very core of your product strategy process. Our goal is to move beyond the hype and show you how AI can become a foundational tool, not just a feature, when it comes to crafting and executing a compelling product vision. We'll begin with Part 1, the Visionaries AI Toolkit. Here, we'll explore the new generation of AI tools that are purpose-built for strategic product thinking. You'll learn how these tools can augment, not replace, your human intuition, helping you think more expansively and creatively about your product's future. Next, we'll dive into Part 2, Crafting AI-Assisted Visions. This is where we'll get into the techniques for using AI to brainstorm, expand, and refine your product's long-term direction. You'll see how AI can help you break through creative blocks and articulate bold, emotionally resonant visions. Then, in Part 3, Data-driven validation, will shift gears and focus on grounding those visions in reality. You'll learn how to use AI to analyze market trends, competitor landscapes, and user feedback so you can validate your ideas before investing significant resources. Finally, we'll wrap up with a practical exercise. You'll apply everything you've learned to develop or enhance a product vision statement of your own. This is your chance to put theory into action and walk away with something tangible. By the end of this workshop, you'll have a toolkit of AI-powered techniques that can help you create bolder, more validated, and more aligned product visions, and you'll be ready to bring those visions to life with confidence. Before we dive into how AI can enhance our product visioning process, let's take a moment to reflect on the traditional approach and why it often falls short. Crafting a product vision has historically been a high-stakes, intuition-driven exercise. It's often seen as a moment of brilliance, a spark of inspiration from a founder or product leader. And while that spark is powerful, it can also be problematic. There are several common pitfalls. First, there's founder's bias, where the vision is overly shaped by one person's perspective, potentially missing broader market signals. Then there's market disconnect, visions that sound great internally, but don't resonate with real-time customer needs or evolving market dynamics. We also face slow feedback loops, where we don't know if our vision is working until we've already invested months or even years of development. And finally, alignment is hard. Getting cross-functional teams to buy into and act on a vision can be a major challenge. This is where AI comes in, not to replace our strategic thinking, but to supercharge it. Think of AI as your co-pilot. It helps you process vast amounts of data, uncover hidden patterns, and simulate future scenarios. It allows you to move from pure intuition to informed inspiration. The process starts with human intuition, your domain expertise, your understanding of user pain points, your creative instincts. Then, AI augmentation kicks in, analyzing massive datasets to identify trends, gaps, and opportunities that would be impossible to see on your own. The result? An informed vision, one that's not only bold and inspiring, but also grounded in data and market reality. This shift from intuition alone to intuition plus AI is what makes today's product leaders more powerful than ever before. Let's now talk about how AI redefines the product vision process. Traditionally, setting a product vision has been a deeply human, often intuitive exercise. And while that intuition is valuable, it can also be limiting, especially when it's based on incomplete data, personal bias, or outdated assumptions. This is where AI steps in, not to replace your strategic thinking, but to amplify it. Think of AI as your co-pilot. It helps you move from pure intuition to informed inspiration by bringing data, pattern recognition, and predictive modeling into the mix. The process starts with human intuition, your domain expertise, your understanding of user pain points, and your creative instincts. This is still the spark that ignites the vision. But then, AI augmentation takes over. AI can process massive datasets, far beyond what any individual or team could analyze manually. It identifies trends, gaps, and opportunities that might otherwise go unnoticed. The result is an informed vision, one that's not only bold and aspirational, but also grounded in real-world data. It's a vision that's more resilient, more aligned with market dynamics, and more likely to succeed. So instead of relying solely on gut instinct or anecdotal evidence, we now have the ability to simulate future scenarios, validate assumptions, and uncover hidden insights, all before we commit significant resources. This is the power of AI and strategic product thinking. It transforms vision setting from a leap of faith into a data-augmented act of leadership. Welcome to part 1 of our workshop, Developing Compelling Visions with AI. This is where we shift from theory to creativity, using AI not just as a tool, but as a collaborator in the visioning process. One of the biggest blockers in strategic planning is what we call blank page paralysis. You know you need a bold, differentiated vision, but where do you start? This is where AI can be incredibly powerful. It helps you expand the possibility space before you begin narrowing in on a direction. We begin with scenario expansion. Using large language models, you can prompt AI to explore what-if scenarios. What if your product served a different persona? What if it entered a new market? What if it leveraged a technology that's just emerging today? These prompts help you think beyond the obvious and uncover adjacent opportunities. Next is narrative crafting. Once you've got some raw ideas, you can feed your core value propositions into the model and ask it to generate compelling narratives, like a press release from the future or a user story that captures the emotional impact of your product. This helps you shape a vision that's not just strategic, but also inspiring and human-centered. Then we have identifying white space. AI can analyze massive volumes of product reviews, support tickets, and online discussions to surface unmet needs and recurring frustrations. These insights point to the white space your product could own, areas where customer pain is high and competition is low. To bring this to life, we'll look at a prompting example in a moment. But the key takeaway here is this: AI helps you move from a blank page to a rich landscape of possibilities. And from there, you can begin to shape a vision that's bold, differentiated, and deeply resonant with your users. Let's bring all of this to life with a concrete example of how you might use AI to kick off a visioning exercise. Imagine you're working on a new productivity app called FlowState. The goal of this app is to help knowledge workers minimize distractions and stay in deep focus. Here's a sample prompt you could give to a model like GPT-4 or Claude. Act as a senior product strategist. Our product is a new productivity app called FlowState that helps knowledge workers minimize distractions. Generate 5 bold, 10-year product visions for FlowState. For each vision, describe the target user in the future, the core problem it solves, and a potential killer feature that doesn't exist today. This kind of prompt does a few important things. First, it sets a clear role for the AI, asking it to think like a senior strategist. That helps guide the tone and depth of the response. Second, it provides context about the product and its purpose. And third, it asks for structured output, 5 visions, each with a user, a problem, and a feature. The result? You'll get a range of bold, imaginative, and sometimes surprising ideas. Some may be off the mark, but others might spark a new direction you hadn't considered. And even the ones that don't work can help you clarify what you don't want. This is the power of AI in the ideation phase. It's not about getting the perfect answer. It's about expanding your thinking, surfacing new possibilities, and accelerating the creative process. Now that we've explored how to generate bold, creative visions with AI, it's time to ground those ideas in reality. Welcome to part 2, Validating vision with market data. A compelling vision isn't just imaginative, it's credible. And that credibility comes from validation. Traditionally, validating a product vision has been slow, expensive, and often reactive. But with AI, we can now test our assumptions against real-world data at unprecedented speed and scale before we write a single line of code. Let's look at the impact. AI can analyze 100 times more data than a human team in a fraction of the time. It can detect signals and shifts in customer sentiment 90% faster, and it helps reduce bias by surfacing counter-evidence, not just confirming what we already believe. So how do we put this into practice? There are three powerful techniques. Sentiment trend analysis. Using natural language processing, we can track how people feel about a problem space over time. Are frustrations growing or fading? What language are users using to describe their pain points? Platforms like Reddit, Twitter, and App Store reviews are goldmines for this kind of insight. Competitive landscape mapping. AI can scan and compare competitor features, pricing, and messaging. It can even generate visual maps that show where the market is crowded and where there's open space for your product to stand out. Predictive TAM modeling. This is where AI really flexes its analytical muscle. By combining economic, demographic, and technological data, AI can help you estimate your total addressable market and whether your vision has the commercial potential to scale. Together, these methods help you de-risk your strategy. You're not just dreaming, you're validating. You're not just guessing, you're testing. And that's what makes your vision not only bold, but believable. Let's now explore how to translate AI-powered validation into practice. It's one thing to say, validate with data, but how do we actually do that in a way that's fast, scalable, and insightful? There are three powerful techniques that product teams can use to pressure test their vision statements using AI. Sentiment trend analysis. This involves using natural language processing, NLP, to analyze how people are talking about your problem space over time. You can scan platforms like Reddit, Twitter, or App Store reviews to detect whether the pain point your product addresses is becoming more or less acute. Is frustration growing? Are new needs emerging? AI can help you track these shifts in sentiment and identify whether your vision is aligned with where the market is headed. Competitive landscape mapping. AI can automate the analysis of your competitors, looking at their feature sets, pricing models, and even the language they use in their marketing. It can then generate visual maps that show where the market is saturated and where there's open space. This helps you validate whether your proposed positioning is truly unique or if you're heading into a crowded battlefield. Predictive TAM modeling. Finally, AI can help you build a total addressable market model by analyzing economic, demographic, and technological data. This gives you a clearer picture of the commercial potential of your vision. Is the market growing? Are there underserved segments? Is your idea scalable? AI can help you answer these questions with data, not guesswork. Together, these techniques allow you to stress test your vision before you commit resources. You're not just validating what you hope is true, you're actively looking for what might be false. And that's what makes your strategy stronger, more resilient, and more likely to succeed in the real world. Let's take a look at a practical example of how AI can reshape a product vision through validation. This is a fictional case study, but it's based on real patterns we see in the field. The company is called Connecti, a B2B SaaS startup with a bold vision to become the central nervous system for remote-first companies. At first glance, this vision sounds compelling. The team believed that integrations, connecting all the tools remote teams use, would be the key to delivering on that promise. So they built their roadmap around that assumption. But then they brought AI into the process. They used AI to analyze support tickets, forum discussions, and user feedback at scale. What they discovered was surprising. The biggest pain point wasn't integrations, it was asynchronous communication. Remote teams weren't struggling to connect tools, they were struggling to stay aligned across time zones, manage handoffs, and maintain momentum without constant meetings. This insight was a game changer. The team pivoted their vision to focus on solving asynchronous collaboration first. That shift not only made their product more relevant, it made their vision more resonant with the real needs of their users. This is the power of AI validation. It helps you challenge your assumptions, uncover hidden truths, and make sure your vision is solving the right problem, not just the one you assumed was most important. We've now explored how to generate bold visions and validate them with real-world data. But even the best vision will fall flat if it doesn't inspire alignment. That brings us to part 3, creating alignment through synthesis. A product vision is only powerful if your entire organization understands it, believes in it, and uses it to guide decisions. That's where AI can play a transformative role, not just in generating ideas, but in synthesizing complexity into clarity. Think about all the raw inputs we've gathered so far: brainstorming outputs, market data, user feedback, competitive analysis. AI can help you turn this mountain of unstructured information into strategic artifacts, things like persona documents, product roadmaps, internal FAQs, and executive summaries. These are the tools that drive cross-functional alignment. AI acts as a tireless synthesizer. It can cluster themes, summarize insights, and even anticipate the kinds of questions your team might ask, so you can proactively address them. This helps you move from data to decisions with confidence. Here's how the flow works. You start with raw data, interviews, reviews, reports. AI helps extract key themes and insights. Those insights are shaped into strategic artifacts, roadmaps, personas, vision statements. And those artifacts drive aligned action across your teams. This is how you build not just a vision, but a shared understanding of that vision. And when everyone, from engineering to marketing to leadership, is aligned, your product strategy becomes exponentially more powerful. Let's now look at how all the pieces come together, from raw data to aligned action. This is the synthesis engine of your AI-enhanced product strategy. At the bottom of this flow, we start with raw data. This includes everything from user interviews and support tickets to market reports, product reviews, and competitive intelligence. It's a massive, messy, and often overwhelming pool of information. Next, AI helps us extract synthesized insights and key themes. It can cluster similar feedback, identify recurring pain points, and surface emerging trends. This is where AI acts as a tireless analyst, doing the heavy lifting of pattern recognition at scale. From there, we move into strategic artifacts. These are the tangible outputs that help teams align: product roadmaps, persona documents, vision statements, FAQs, and more. AI can help generate and refine these assets, ensuring they're grounded in real data and tailored to your audience. And finally, we reach aligned action. This is where strategy becomes execution. When your team has access to clear, data-backed artifacts, they can make faster, more confident decisions that are consistent with the product vision. This flow from data to decisions is what makes AI such a powerful force multiplier. It doesn't just help you think better, it helps your entire organization act better, with clarity, confidence, and cohesion. Now it's your turn. We're moving into the practical exercise portion of the workshop, where you'll apply the techniques we've covered to develop or refine your own AI-enhanced product vision statement. Here's how it works. Choose a product start by selecting a product you're currently working on or one you're familiar with. It could be something in development, something live, or even a concept you've been thinking about. Brainstorm with AI. Use a generative AI tool, like GPT-4 or Claude, to explore 3 to 5 divergent future scenarios for your product. Think big. Prompt the AI to imagine different user personas, emerging technologies, or market shifts. This is your opportunity to stretch the boundaries of what's possible. Synthesize and draft review the outputs and identify the most compelling theme. Then, distill that into a one-sentence vision statement. It should be bold, inspiring, and grounded in a real user need or market opportunity. Share and refine. Once you've drafted your vision, share it with your group or team. Use feedback to refine and strengthen it. Ask, is it clear? Is it differentiated? Does it resonate emotionally and strategically? This exercise is designed to help you move from theory to action, to walk away from this workshop with something tangible and valuable. And remember, the goal isn't perfection. It's progress. You're building a muscle that will serve you across every product you touch. As we wrap up the core content of this workshop, it's important to pause and talk about best practices and ethical considerations when using AI in product strategy. AI is a powerful tool, but it's not infallible. It can generate incredible insights, but it can also reinforce biases, hallucinate facts, or mislead if not guided properly. That's why human oversight is not optional, it's essential. Let's walk through 3 key guardrails for success. Garbage in. Garbage out. The quality of your AI output is only as good as the quality of your input. That means your prompts, your data sources, and your framing all matter. The intentional. Be specific. And always question the assumptions you're feeding into the model. Challenge everything. One of the most valuable uses of AI is to surface counterpoints. Don't just use it to confirm what you already believe. Use it to challenge your thinking. Ask it to find flaws in your vision. Prompt it to generate opposing arguments. This is how you fight confirmation bias and build more resilient strategies. Maintain oversight. AI is a co-pilot, not the pilot. It can accelerate your thinking, but it should never replace your judgment. You are still responsible for the ethical, strategic, and human implications of the decisions you make. Use AI to inform, not to abdicate. Ultimately, our goal is to use AI not just to move faster, but to move smarter, and to do so in a way that's responsible, inclusive, and aligned with our values. As we close out today's workshop, let's revisit the key takeaways that will help you carry this momentum forward. First, remember, AI is here to augment, not to abdicate. It's not about replacing your strategic thinking, it's about enhancing it. AI can help you think bigger, move faster, and make smarter decisions, but the vision still needs your leadership, your judgment, and your ethical compass. Second, treat your vision as a cycle, not a one-time event. With AI, you can continuously generate, validate, and refine your product vision. It becomes a living, evolving asset, one that adapts as your market, users, and technology landscape shift. And finally, aim for data-driven alignment. Use AI not just to generate ideas, but to synthesize them into clear, compelling artifacts that your entire organization can rally around. When your team is aligned around a shared, validated vision, execution becomes more focused, more confident, and more impactful. You now have a toolkit to transform product vision from a high-stakes guessing game into a science-backed creative process. Use it boldly. Use it responsibly. And most importantly, use it to build something that truly matters.